If you always feel ugly around him, sometimes this means that you're dating someone that is jealous of your appearance. When a man is jealous of his girlfriend's beauty but is very secretive about it, he won't always show it, but you will feel it. They will do small things to silently sabotage your confidence. Like when you're looking really good and they purposely don't look at you. Stuff like that.
That man hates you. I don't know if I can say it any louder. He hates you. He envies you. He wants to be you. So when you are being celebrated in public by other people and he humbles you by saying she ain't all right, baby, he hates you. Get away. Run as fast as you can. All right. Have a good night. Bye.
Women with pretty privilege make men jealous. Oh, they're going to hate me for this one. It's a lot of men out here that look at women who have pretty privilege and just feel like life is too easy for them. And that's where the jealousy comes in. If a woman wants to get on a yacht in Miami, all she has to do is be pretty. And some rich guy is going to invite her on a yacht. If a man wants to get on a yacht in Miami, he got to go pay for it. So these experiences that men be feeling like pretty women don't have to work for breeds jealousy. I got to stop that. Now, this is not all men, because there's some real ones out here that know. Life is what it is. We take the double standards and we play our role. But it's a lot of, I don't know what to call them, that be feeling some type of way.
Hello fam, how are you all doing? I hope you all are good. Let's talk about women that are sleeping with their enemies. Many of us women are in relationship with men that don't like us, men that are silently planning our downfall. They are happy when something bad happened to us. They don't like seeing us progress. They don't like seeing us happy.
You thought it was love, but you was laying next to a whole weapon formed against you. Sometimes the biggest threat to our peace ain't out in them streets. It's laying in the bed, smiling in our face, telling us they love us, but the whole time they secretly preying on our downfall. You ever look back and realize that you was pillow talking with a demon, sleeping with the enemy, the one who came to distract you, feeding somebody your dreams, your fears, and your secrets, and they was never for you? 'Cause see, that ain't love. It's spiritual warfare in disguise. The enemy don't always show up with horns and red flags either. Sometimes it's a soft voice and good looks and trauma that you can relate to. But hear me. God did not give us discernment for decoration. If it's draining us, confusing us, and pulling us away from our purpose, that's not our partner. That's an assignment that needs to be escaped. Because sometimes, the devil don't always break in. He gets invited over and spends the night.
You out here thinking that these bitches is jealous of you and you're sleeping with the enemy, I promise. A lot of times we don't like to admit the man is the hater. The man that we are popping that cat for hates us dearly, okay? I'll never forget when I was in college, I was dating my boyfriend at the time, and the nigga gonna ask me, why you still in college? Why you just don't quit and scam with me? And I seen him 2 years ago, and he's a fucking nobody still. Could you imagine if I listened to him? He hated me. He hated that I wanted to be somebody in life, that I wanted to do something with myself. It made his ass itch. And a lot of y'all are in that same situation where the guy you're laying down with cannot fathom you surpassing him. He wants you to need him, or he wants you to always be there for him, because if you wake up one day and realize your worth, you would leave him immediately.
Some of us, when we hear the devil, when we talk about the devil, the picture that comes to mind is a scary looking creature. The devil comes in different shape and form. Your partner can be that devil. Your husband can be that devil. Your boyfriend can also be that devil. If you have a man that is jealous of your progress, that man is a devil to you. If you have a man that is envious of you, a man that does not like seeing you happy, he's not happy when you're happy. He prefers you being sad. A man that is a sadist, a man that is a murderer, a man that is a cheat. Men like that are the demon, the devils we're talking about. The sad part of it is this: when such men come into our lives, they camouflage. They wouldn't make their intentions known, because if they do, they're going to get caught. They come like they're the sweetest man you've ever met. They make you believe they have your best interest at heart. Some men come into your life with the intention of pulling you down from the get-go, while some develop that intention as the relationship progresses. Let's hear some story time from women that dated men that were jealous of them.
A lot of men are jealous of women. I was having a conversation with this guy one time and he was so passionate about how much he hated makeup, hated girls that wear makeup. I hate women. So I was like, oh, why? Like, what's your big issue with makeup? And he said, and I quote, I don't think it's fair that women get to wear makeup, but men can't. If a woman has really bad skin, she can just cover it up with makeup. But when I had bad skin, I had to walk around with it and I felt really insecure. Sorry. Who stopped this person from wearing makeup? Is it that you don't know your shades because you're MAC NW45 and your NARS New Caledonia? Oh, right. So you want to be us. You want to join our team. Come and join. Who stopped you? Come and see foundations, shades. I have plenty of them. Which one? You're spoiled for choice. You don't hate us. You want to be us. You don't hate makeup. You want to wear makeup. You don't hate wigs. You want to wig yourself. It all makes sense now. Even if a woman, especially an attractive woman, says anything a man doesn't like online, all you see is all those incels trying to attack the fact that she's got makeup on, trying to attack the fact that her hair's not real. So you're mad outside of the club because you can't get in. Whenever there's a gorgeous woman that everyone's talking about, you'll have that one random guy coming saying, but she's got makeup on, but she's got this on, but she's it, but. Is that meant to make you feel better about the fact that you can't have her? Is that meant to make you feel better about the fact that you will not be her? It's bizarre.
Get ready with me as I tell you about that time that I learned my boyfriend actually hated me. So he calls me and he's like, get ready, I'm coming to pick you up. And of course, I'm super excited because I'm like, I haven't seen my man all week. So of course, I'm going to go all out. Lashes, makeup, my outfit on point, and some cute heels. So thank God this guy is like a race car driver. And he gets here within 30 minutes. So he texts me and he's like, hey, babe, I'm here. Meet me outside. So I get out and usually he gets out of the car at least and like hugs me, opens the car door. This day, he did not do none of that. So I'm like, I don't know what's up with him. Maybe he's having a bad day. I don't know. Cool. But I'm going to let myself in. So I let myself in. He said nothing. Now, mind you, I got on a cute little pink dress that's hugging my curves. I've got a cute heels. Like my face is beat. I've got lashes on. I look good. I feel like I look good. And I think this is the part that I should give the disclaimer that this was a point in my life where I had such super low self-esteem. I didn't really love myself. Guys, I have come a long ways and I am so proud of myself. Thank you to therapy. So we get to the restaurant and it's a barbecue spot. And I'm like, why did he bring us to the barbecue spot when he knows that I'm not a huge like meat eater. 2, I really don't like barbecue, even though I live in Texas. But I get out of the car because I was like, I'm not going to argue with this man. Like he doesn't look like he's having a good day anyway. So I'm going to keep it cute today. We get inside the restaurant and oh my gosh, I look around and instantly, I feel so out of place. I think it had been so many years since I last went to like a barbecue restaurant. So I forgot how like they do things around the restaurant. You have to like stand in line and then wait for your turn, and then it's like a high school cafeteria. That's what a barbecue spot reminds me of. So we get in line with everybody else. Now mind you, I'm wearing stilettos, 6-inch heels, because God forbid a girl thinks that her man is going to take her to a really nice restaurant on a Saturday night. And this line is long. I have never ever seen a line that was that long ever in my life. After about 15 minutes of waiting in line, I was like, hey, do you mind like just grabbing our food and like bringing it to our table? Like my feet are killing me. And for whatever reason, he looks irritated. But I was like, I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta go sit down. Because this man does not have the proper decency to ask a lady to go sit down if her feet are hurting. And he was gonna be a gentleman and grab the food and bring it to the table. It gets to the point where I have to get up and like pick my sides. So I pick my sides and we get to the end where we have to pay. And he looks even more irritated. And I was like, what could he possibly be irritated about now? Like we are at the end of this journey. So the girl that's checking us out is like a black goddess. She is gorgeous. And she looks at me and she's like, you are stunning. And I was like, you too, queen. Like it takes one to know one. Like she was like Naomi Campbell beautiful, like stunning. And my boyfriend, he looks at me and I kid you not, he looked at me up and down and he grabbed his food. Like he was like, so I'm following the little man and guess where he decides to go sit? I'll wait. Oh yeah, upstairs. Like this man ran up those steps so fast. It was almost like saying like, you can't do what I do. And he knows my feet are hurting. He knows I'm wearing heels. He knows all of this. So I get to our seat. I didn't mention anything about anything. Like I wasn't trying to be negative. I was trying to have a good night. And I was like, wasn't that girl so nice, like to give me a compliment? And he's like, why do you have to be like that? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you're doing too much. Why did you have to wear heels here? Why are you dressed like that coming to a place like this? It's almost like you always want to be the center of attention. And I was like, what do you mean? I didn't even know you were bringing me to a barbecue spot. Otherwise, I would have dressed for the occasion. Best believe. And this man didn't stop there. He went on and on and on about the things that he didn't like about me that night. And when I tell you, at that moment is when I learned this man didn't like me. When I tell you, at that moment, I felt it in my soul that this man was jealous of me. I lost my appetite. I was like, why am I here? I don't even like the food. I sat there, I watched him eat his entire meal. And it seemed like he enjoyed tearing me down because he ate that meal. All of it. All of it. And I tell you, it didn't take us that long to go our separate ways. And not a day that goes by that I miss that little man. That experience, I learned to never, ever let a guy to let me know that he does not like me more than once. You don't have to tell me twice, baby. Because I'm gone.
Let's have a look at the comment section, how people reacted to her story. He was very jealous of you. He needed a man. Mind you, he called you and disturbed your peace just to do all that. If I get a sniff of resentment or irritation from just existing, bye. I mean, he was in competition with you. Imagine fumbling a woman whose skin literally glows. Yeah, she's pretty, she's gorgeous. Basically, how dare you get more attention than me? Yeah, some men are in competition, silent competition with the women they're dating. They want to be the center of attention. They want everything to be about them. They want to get all the compliment. They don't want any compliment going to the women or the woman they have beside them. The moment the girl complimented you, I knew where this was going. Clearly, he wanted to wear the heels. Dated a guy for 3 months. At first, he was nice. Then slowly had little complaints. Then more and more until one day I asked him, is there anything you do like about me? He was shocked and I never saw him again. They like to wipe the smiles off our faces. It's like, oh, you're happy. Let me ruin it. He asked me to make oxtail and he didn't show up. I never cooked anything for him after, and he's an ex now, and that still hurts me. That's sad.
Story time on how I found out that the man I was dating secretly hated me. So this guy I've been seeing off and on for years, we were walking down the street and 2 beautiful girls came up to me and they're like, oh, you're so beautiful. And I was like, oh, thank you, and carried on. As we're walking away, this man goes, they were lying. Lying. I was too stunned to speak. I couldn't believe this man just uttered those words. What just came out of his mouth? Anyway, next day, I'm still mad about this. It comes up in conversation. I read him for Phil. I told him he's weird. That joke was inappropriate because he claims it was a joke, and that no man has ever treated me that way. Like usually when I'm with a man, someone compliments me while I'm out, he's flattered. He should be honored. He should be happy that he has a beautiful woman by his side. But instead he wanted to be a hater. No, he was very jealous that he wasn't getting the attention in that moment. And he then tried to say that, oh, because those girls were black, they were just hyping me up because I'm also black. And black people like to gas each other up so much. Mind you, this is a Nigerian man. I couldn't believe it. I just feel like that was truly an inappropriate joke to make. Like, first of all, you called a black woman a liar. Can't have that in my house. Nope. Another point he tried to make was that, oh, he wouldn't have made that joke if he knew I was insecure. Clearly not. I'm not insecure. You're clearly a confident woman, so that's why it was a joke. I told him that wasn't funny. No one's laughing with you. No one's laughing with you. That is so weird.
So she was saying how she was with a man who was jealous of her getting her hair done. So I dealt with the same thing as well. Like when he met me, I was always a hair, makeup, and nails kind of girl. Like I've always been kept up. My mom has always made sure that I took care of myself and that I was taken care of. So those were like things that he loved about me, that my hair, nails, and makeup was always done, that I always was dressed cute, always was cute. You know what I'm saying? When I married that man and moved down there and that man was still cheating on me and I didn't know about it, it got to the point where he started to try to change those little things about me. And then he didn't try. He really did. It got to the point where he was like, oh, I love your hair when it's in its natural state. I don't like the presses. So you know what I did? I stopped getting presses. I like when you don't wear makeup. You know what I did? I stopped wearing makeup. Been a makeup girl since I was in like kindergarten. I've been wearing that kitty makeup. Y'all been in that stuff forever. Stop wearing it. Stop getting my nails done. I started doing everything. And like, don't sit on here and lie so you don't try to appeal and appease your man. Because you know what? You do. That's why you go buy a fragrance, because you hope when he sniffed that, he want to sniff that. That's what you hope. At least I do. Fragrance or no fragrance is getting sniffed over here. But you know what's crazy is like when I found out he was cheating on me after he died, and I went and I looked that girl up. Do you know what was the traits of that girl? Hair, makeup, nails done. And you didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you, but she wasn't even black. In Medea's words, she was a Puerto Rican. Or she was Hispanic. She might have been black and white. I don't know. She could go for either one of them, I tell you that. It's amazing how everything they once loved about us, they will put into another woman when they begin to cheat on you and make sure you dial everything back so they can keep you locked up so nobody is paying attention to you while you're the one paying attention to your side piece. Because you don't care who pays attention to her because you just use her up. It's the craziest thing ever to me.
It's definitely manipulation. They don't want you to be attractive to somebody else. Yes, some men are that way. They tell you, I don't want you to wear makeup. I don't want you dressing this way, because they have insecurity issue. They fear that if you look so good, other men might take them away from you. So the best bet is for them to make sure you don't look good, you don't look attractive to other men. Mind you, they are not doing that because they love you or they care about you. They are doing that for their own selfish interest. They don't want to lose you. I was told you got to be mean to them and keep doing your makeup, dressing up. The same things they love about you are the same thing they envy of you. That's true. They always hate the things they love because they can't break you. They just don't want you to look pretty for anybody else. They don't want anyone to look at you. That's what it is. My ex-father even asked him if he even liked me, because why everything you loved is an issue, and he couldn't answer him. And when you stop doing the things they say they don't like on you, they'll turn around and say you don't even try hard enough to look good for them. Please, don't live your life for any man. If you like doing makeup, go ahead and do your makeup. Why should you be dressing up for a man to look good for a man? Look good for yourself. Yes, ma'am, exactly what happened. I figured that out and I got myself back together and stayed away. Some men are envious of the women they are dating. They literally want everything the women they have in their life or the woman they are dating has. If she has a good job, they want it. If she has friends, they want the same thing. That is very, very dangerous. Envy can lead to someone unaliving someone else. Envy can lead to people poisoning people. Envy can lead to people cheating. Having a man that is envious of you is a dangerous game you're playing. Honestly, envy is a dark energy, and a lot of men are envious of the women they are dating.
And when the devil can't reach you, he will send a man that wants to be you. You heard me right. There are so many flavors of men out here who will hate your guts because you have something that they can't get or that they don't have. The scary part about it is they are so good at camouflaging their real feelings about you. That's why you got to be dialed into the nonverbal and verbal cues that somebody is jealous of you, particularly a man. Sometimes it's really blatant and sometimes it mimics like a nice nasty tone. Making sure that they clock how much money you make, how much money you have, and what you spend it on is a big one. And what's so dangerous about it is when a man envies you, he is going to pull out special stops to bring you down and to humble you royally. Be prepared to be put on a pedestal and slowly be brought back down to earth. Actually, be prepared to be brought into hell. Because the amount of subtle negging they're going to do on your looks, on your capabilities, on your talents, on your hobbies, on your friends, be afraid.
Men can be jealous of the women they are dating. Here are some examples of how I knew it was happening to me. I went on a date with one man and we were casually just walking down the street after dinner, and this gay man comes up to us and he begins to compliment me, tell me how beautiful I am, and that the guy I was on a date with was lucky to be with me. I'm sure the compliment was genuine, but it was in no way a diss to him. Instead of agreeing with this person, saying, yeah, she's gorgeous, I'm happy to be here with her, he looks at the man and asks him, what about me? I said, oh, okay. So you want to be the pretty girl in this relationship. Cool. The second time this happened to me, my ex happened to be around at the time that I got my most recent job. And a couple months into that job, I asked for a raise because I felt like it was appropriate for the work that I was doing. I got a substantial raise. I told him about it and I told him how much it was. Now, he did say congratulations, to be fair. We went out to dinner to celebrate, which I suggested that we do. What he responded when I told him the number was, maybe you could have asked for more. Now, mind you, he wasn't employed at the time. Now, at this point, I'm kind of peeping what's going on. Time goes on. He's consistently bringing up my job. As he's going through his job search, he's continuously saying things like, oh, I want a job like yours. Your job is so great. And I'm like, yeah, but this is my job that I found. I've spent X amount of years in this industry. It's appropriate for me to have a job like this. Towards the end of that relationship, he eventually admitted that yes, he was just jealous of me and how I navigate through the world, basically. When people start acting funny with you like that, you have to go. You have to skedaddle. The only way that a relationship like that is going to work in the long term is if you dim yourself down, if you try to be less than what you are to make them comfortable, or if they rise up to who they want to be, whatever bar they've set. Even if you try to help this person get to the level that they aspire to be at, they're going to resent you for it. So just move on to someone who is satisfied with who they are and who doesn't feel like they need what you have.
Do you know what's terrifying about men? I'm only now just learning about. Men, insecure men, will date a girl that they already know is out of their league and be so jealous over it that he will try to ruin her life. I'll explain. A lot of times men will see your worth and your potential way before you do. And if they see a glimmer of something in you, something that they themselves are lacking in, the opportunities you have, maybe you're really ambitious, you have a sweet personality, it can even just be your aura. If you're one of those girls and you walk in a room and you're magnetic and you get attention, babe, they hate it. So when they see all that in you, they are going to try to crush all of it. They will try to ruin your confidence, keep trying to diminish all of your achievements. They will keep trying to humble you, especially if there's an audience. They'll just do anything to try and minimize you and bring you down, because taking you down a couple pegs is the only way he can make himself feel like he's equal to you or above you. One sec, I need to fix this blush. So if you've ever dated a guy and wondered why he was treating you bad when you didn't deserve it, he's probably just mad jealous of you, girl. I feel like this is definitely what was happening to me in my last situation, and my dumb ass didn't even realize. So I was modeling the time that I was seeing this guy, and it's so weird. I feel like this guy liked the validation of being able to say to his homeboys he was with a model. Meanwhile, on the low, he almost resented me for it. He would bring up other girls from my agency, just trying to minimize my career. For no reason. I'm not even joking. Sometimes this guy would try and compare and compete with me on how much money we were making. This guy would tell me how much money he'd made, unprovoked, by the way, didn't ask. Then he'd be like, well, how much money did you make then? I bet you didn't make that much. First of all, you are a white male. With all that privilege you got, I would kind of hope you were making more than me. And also, why is it a competition? So weird. So when my TikTok had first started growing, I never ever mentioned it. He had looked me up or whatever and found my account, and literally off rip, he got so weird about it. Out of nowhere, he was like, I just hate girls that are obsessed with likes and followers. My ex never had any social media. Okay. He used to do impressions of me, make fun of my videos. One time, out of nowhere, he was like, what, do you think you're sick because you've got 50k followers? No. I don't think I'm sick because I've got 50k. You think I'm sick because I've got 50k. Because I don't be bringing it up. You do. I feel like he just didn't like the fact that I had something cool going for myself. So obviously he just had to tear it down. Fast forward to when I started dating somebody new. When this guy found out about my TikTok, I was like, right, I can help you do a content plan if you want. Guy got me filming equipment, he was sending me the contact for brands he thought I'd be good to collab with. Now that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, moral of the story. A guy that is secure in himself and in what he has going on, he's gonna move accordingly. A secure guy is gonna be thrilled at the thought of you doing well, not threatened by it.
Let's have a look at the comment section. This is so true, and they don't even support you in anything. Everything has to be about them. What about the part where they steal your whole personality after you break up? And the worst part is that there are so many men like this who are in relationships right now. My ex was obsessed with me for years before we had our first date. Once we were together, he crushed all my confidence, my self-esteem, my power. My ex ruined my nursing school plan. I'm now 5 years behind, but slowly getting there. Finally applied. He constantly tried to drag me down, control me, make all the decisions, and force me to do what he wanted to do always. This is so true. I had a similar experience. The guy would make comments putting me down, and when I'd call him out on it, he would say he's joking. Please, it's not a joke. They are telling you their mind. They're telling you how they feel about you. Men often say the truth and then they cover it up with, oh, I'm joking. They say that just to test boundaries. Once they've told you how they feel and then they step back and watch and then you don't react, you've just told them it's okay for them to do that to you. But whenever they do something you don't like, please call them out. And the most you're going to hear when you do call them out is, I'm joking. No, it's not a joke. My ex tried to convince me that he was clever than me as he was doing an engineering degree and I was doing chemistry degree. Just imagine. When Dave said some girls are dating their biggest haters, I felt that in my soul. It got to the point where I could tell and I started asking for permission to talk about some things. I'll be like, can I talk to you about my job? Staying under the same roof with a man in the name of marriage or dating the man is very, very dangerous. This is a huge risk we all take, and I think most of us don't even think about it because you never know the person you're dating, the person you're married to. Some people have secrets that you will never unravel in your lifetime. Some men are serial killers, they're murderers. Some have that thirst for human blood and they might never have practiced it, but it's just a matter of time for them to execute that, for them to make it happen. So imagine you staying under the same roof with a man like that. We've heard numerous stories of men unaliving their wives over little argument, over little disagreement. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Did y'all see the boy who killed his girlfriend and he was only dating her for 3 months? That's what I'm trying to say. You can't even start a new relationship. These ninjas is crazy. 3 months? And then he was charged, y'all. He dumped the gun in a garbage can. And the same gun that he used to kill her. He had it on Facebook. Goofy is criminal of the day award goes to. But my condolences to her family, but that was real crazy. Like, you can't even start new relationships. Look at me. I don't want to die. I've been that close and I ain't going back. And I'm scared. I'm scarred. Traumatized. Y'all be safe out here. These niggas is really abusing these girls. And killing them. Don't be a victim.
My high school sweetheart went to jail for murdering his baby mother just a few months ago. And then I just look back sometimes and think how much I wanted us to end up together. I wanted so badly for our love story that began in elementary, middle school to play out in adulthood. And to see how that person is where they are right now, beat the absolute life out of his child's mother. When I say beat the life out of her, I mean beat her until I just don't even, This just really shows you how what you want sometimes is not what you need. I had no clue that this person was capable of doing the things that they ended up doing to end up where they are right now, which is in prison. I had no clue that he was capable of murdering someone. I would be lying if I said there weren't signs. I mean, when he would get angry, he would make it a point to disappear. And when I said disappear, it felt like Beauty and the Beast, like he had to just go retreat. I wouldn't hear from him until he was completely calmed down. He presented himself to me to be the sweetest. I knew he had a temper, but he just never exposed that side to me. And to see his charges and the way that this young lady had passed away, I cried tears. No woman deserves that. And I had no clue that this man was capable of doing and being a complete monster. My condolences go out to her, of course. Ultimately, also receive the message that, like I said, not all the times what you want for your life is actually beneficial for you. That could have been me. I wanted us to work out so bad. That could have been me. He is the way that he is. He's that angry monster that he turned out to be. I had absolutely no clue that he was capable of doing and being what exactly he turned out to be. So when your plan doesn't work out, thank God. Thank God when your plan doesn't work out, because you don't even know if you would have survived your plan.
76% of women that leave abusive relationships don't make it out alive. 76%. And I'm going to talk about something today. I've mentioned it before, but my cousin lost her daughter to this. She left. And a year later, after she left, she was brutally, okay, I'm going to talk about it. I want to talk about Bill Maher. I'm going to talk about Laura Cleary and Cassie. I just saw a video of Bill Maher talking about Cassie sending a text to Diddy like, oh, I love the freak offs. Like, I love something like that. She wrote like, yeah, I really enjoyed them or something like that. And Bill Maher has the audacity to say, if you're Me Tooing someone, it doesn't help to say that. If you are with an abuser who's very controlling and you don't say something that is positive and nice, they're going to beat you. Right? And Bill Maher made a joke about like, well, she shouldn't be texting that. And it's so messed up to me. My cousin's daughter had 2 kids with this guy, one autistic nonverbal. He was about 6 years old and one was about 4 years old. And they both saw their father. Trigger warning. Take a knife multiple times, open up, trigger warning. I'm telling you, this is a big trigger warning. Open up the stomach, take this part off, and put this in the stomach. Take a picture of it. Post it on the internet saying like, I can't say the word what he said, but people, like, women shouldn't be playing with me. And the kids saw this. My family and I watched the court case online because it was during COVID. And he got life. And the judge said it was one of the most horrific crimes that he'd ever seen.
When I hear stories like this, stories about men chopping women up, I wonder if they ever liked that woman in the first place, if they ever considered her to be a human. I'm not even talking about love, the romantic love and all that. I'm talking about just considering this person being a human, thinking that this person has blood running through their veins as much as they do. Did they ever think about that? Did they think about the pain they will be inflicting on that person by deciding to chop the person up? I don't think they do. Maybe they do and they don't care. The recent case that is making rounds right now has to do with the D4, the guy, the musician that dated that very young girl, and her body was found in his Tesla. That guy even made a song. He wrote the lyrics on that and he was singing it because he's a musician, and people were singing not knowing that he was telling his story. It's all allegedly because we're here to hear the full story from him. Anyways, that aside, I'm just saying all these things to let you know that having a man beside you is very dangerous. I'm not saying that all men are bad, all men are killers, but I tell you, it is a huge risk that we are taking as humans. Even some men having women beside them is also dangerous because some women are capable of this as well. So marriage is a dangerous business. However you look at it, it is a dangerous business, especially when you're doing that marriage with a man that has the patriarchy kind of mentality. I own you, I bought you, I can do whatever I so wish to do to you and no one can question me. No one has any right to question me. You're not my property. Let's also talk about men that use women for rituals, men that do voodoo on women, men that cast spells on women. Don't get me wrong, some women do this, but men also do that. This video is about telling you how much of risk it is dealing with men in marriage, in relationship. A man can be anything, so sleeping beside a man is a huge risk. Let's have a look.
Y'all gotta be crazy. I just heard that some men out here putting spells on women, trying to get them, trying to keep women. Now, I don't heard women do crazy stuff like that. Like going to see these voodoo people and like calling these psychics and trying to find ways to put a spell on the men to keep them and stuff like that. I don't heard women do stuff like this. But I didn't know men are actually out here doing this stuff too. I mean, it made me think, what kind of women are these men trying to keep? The ones that taking care of them or something so they can just sit at home and just chill and relax? Because ain't no way I'm finna go nowhere to put no spell on nobody. Y'all better be careful who y'all date, who y'all call y'all boyfriend, y'all girlfriend, because y'all don't know these people's intentions and what they trying to do. They trying to put spells on you, keeping you around, abusing you. Y'all better start thinking before y'all start giving these people, because I'm telling you, everybody don't have good intentions, okay? You be done got with a nut, a fool, that's trying to keep you around and torture you. And you be wondering why everything's going bad in your life, nothing looking up, can't get rid of the man, can't get rid of the woman, because they don't put something on you. The energy people have, man, y'all.
Ladies, I want to talk about a dark truth that you all are not willing to face when it comes to men and the power they have over you. I don't know how many of you all realize this, but you all do realize that men practice witchcraft too. I'm going to tell you something. No man should have the power over your mind to where you become a totally different person. If you're with a man and all of a sudden you're doing things that you knew that you would have never done prior to you meeting him, I can tell you right now that man probably have hexed you or probably put you under a spell. True story. Young lady, and I heard about this through Facebook a couple of years ago. A young lady was dating this guy, and college educated woman, had a nice career, whatever, but she started dating this guy. And, you know, he was just your typical average street dude or whatever, right? Anyway, she starts dating this guy, and, you know, she quickly falls in love with him. And that was her first red flag, because she was a person that didn't fall in love with people very fast. She, you know, it took a lot to impress her, but she found herself head over heels with this guy after just a couple of nights of intimacy or whatever. And she finds herself doing things, you all, that she would have never done. She loved her family with all her heart. She had cut off communication with them. She had stopped going to work. You know, she had started helping him with his street pharmacy business, doing all these runs or whatever. And just something didn't feel right. It felt like she was having like this out of body experience where, you know, she was doing things that, you know, she couldn't control. She couldn't stop. What made her find out that she was under a spell was he had been telling her, don't ever go in my attic. Whatever you do, don't ever go in my attic, because it's precious family heirlooms up there. And if you ever go up there and mess one of them up, it's going to be really bad between me and you. So she had avoided the attic until things had just gotten so bad to where she didn't even recognize who she was. She didn't even know why she was doing these things. When he went somewhere. He went on this across the country road street pharmacy run, if you get my drift. And she finally say, fuck it, I'll take my chances. She go up there to this attic, and in this attic is a carrot carved into the wall. And if you don't know what a carrot is like a witch symbol. And under this carrot that's carved into the wall, it's all these, you know, special stones and herbs. Now, if you know anything about voodoo and witchcraft, then you know what these herbs and stones mean. So this guy was practicing witchcraft and had put her on the spell right under her nose. It took this young lady years to get herself
People come into your life for different reasons. I think I should blame the society for how too trusting women are. Women become so trusting the moment a man tells them they want to date them, they want to marry them, they suddenly start feeling at home with that man. Why should you suddenly start trusting someone and being comfortable with someone because the person said they love you, because the person is your husband, because the person is your boyfriend? Women do this all the time. Sometimes it doesn't even cross their mind that their husband can hurt them. The way your female friend can be jealous of you, can be envious of you, men are capable of doing same. Humans have tendency to do some certain things, which also applies to men, because men are humans. Men don't stop being humans the moment they become your husband or start dating you. No, they're still humans, which means they can hate you, they can lie on you, they can cheat, they can unalive you. The next clip coming up is a little bit different from the topic. I just inserted that particular clip just to create awareness and to also let us know that men are the predators. They are preying heavily on women.
Every single girl needs to hear this, especially in LA, actually everywhere, but I know certainly this has been going on in LA. Basically how I found out is very serendipitous. So I was out at a day party at a really popular bar in Los Angeles. So I started talking to this guy, we hit it off, we end up going after the event to get some food right next door. So as we're ordering our food, I notice he is going from 0 to 100, like getting really, really, really to the point where he can't even hold himself up. He is just so out of it that he's way beyond getting water. And this was all from 0 to 100. This was a wine place. They did not serve liquor at this day party bar. He had a couple glasses of wine. He's a big guy, clearly knows how to drink, so it was very unusual. And then it progressively got worse really quickly. We ended up outside. I was just trying to get guys to, help him in the Uber, because literally we needed several people to get him in an Uber, because he was so out of it, throwing up, like the whole thing. So the next day, I check in on him. I'm like, are you okay? What happened? And he tells me his suspicions that the last drink that he had, that he got from one of his girlfriends that was there, was spiked and intended for her. And I start asking him more questions, and he tells me that he's a lawyer, that he just represented 3 girls in LA in their lawsuits against a very popular bar. And they literally recovered security footage where it was very, very apparent what these bartenders were doing, and that they were using separate bottles to drug these girls. But that's not even the craziest part. The craziest part is that the girls never had to talk to these monsters, to these predators. The bartenders have a deal, have some kind of like elaborate scheme going on. They communicate with each other in some way to actually target out a victim, in which they then drug her drink. So the girls never ever have to talk to these predators. They're singled out already from a distance. Upon learning that, I obviously was terrified, and it's just the most horrific thing I've ever heard. Like, it actually made me just really, really fucked me up, because to think that the people that are serving us drinks, that we're talking to, friendly with, these people are just directly collaborating with monsters. And for what? For some money? To potentially be responsible for a girl getting harmed, potentially unalived. I mean, I don't know, guys. I don't know what the solution is. Don't leave your house. I don't know. I really don't know.
Domestic abuse and violence against women and girls is not just interrelationship, as in, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband. Men are killing their mothers. I'm Goodwill Cunting, a writer and journalist from Northern Ireland stroke the north of Ireland, and I'm using TikTok to get a book deal for my novel Influenced. I was interviewed on a podcast today, and I mentioned that in the north of Ireland, right across like the world obviously and the UK, but in the north of Ireland, men, we have a particular problem with femicide, and men are killing their mothers. And I wanted to share this. So this came out on the 2nd of September. Sorry, my cushion keeps coming into this. More mothers killed by their sons than by strangers. Now this report the article is recent. The report is from 2022, because this is how these things work. They take time to come, out. But the latest report by Femicide Census says of 121 women killed by men in 2022, 12 were killed by their sons, while only 11 were killed by someone they did not know. So men are killing their mothers. This happened in the north. A man was in court over the murder of his mother. A 21-year-old man was in court. He killed his 43-year-old mother, Rachel Simpson. And this as well, another man killed his mother, who was 71 years of age. Femicide, that is the murder of women. And in the north, this is systemic, meaning that it is a problem that is to do with the way that the system enables this, being the state, the criminal justice system and everything else. It's really, really bad in the north of Ireland. It's really, really bad in the north of Ireland. And men are essentially being told that violence against women and girls is decriminalised, because they're only ever given suspended sentences unless they actually kill them. But yeah, it's devastating, and men are killing their mothers.
Having a cheating husband, a cheating man can endanger your life. I'm not even talking about the health risk and all that. I'm talking about physically endangering your life. Someone taking you out. 2 weeks ago or thereabouts, there was a story that went viral about a lady that was taking her child to school and she was gunned down by her ex-husband or ex-baby daddy's new woman. Yeah, knowing a man in the context of relationship and the man being your ex can endanger your life as well. Being under the same roof with a cheating husband and sleeping with that man can put your health at risk. There are so many sexually transmitted diseases out there that you might get without you knowing that that man is cheating, because so many men out there are good at covering up because they don't want to lose the women they are married to, not because they love them. No, I often hear men say the reason why they cheat secretly is because they don't want to hurt their wives, they love their wives. No, that's a big lie. That's fallacy. They don't love you, they're just greedy, they're selfish, they don't want to lose you. They like the benefits they get from you. They like the fact that you're taking care of their children for them, you're keeping the home for them. They like that. They also want to have access to other women outside. That's why they're playing their smooth game, hiding things away from you, not because they love you. Please don't let anyone deceive you with that. So having a man that is cheating, whether you know it or not, is putting your life at risk, physically and also health wise, I guess spiritually as well. Let's talk about it.
I did, and I cheat on you every other day because I don't love you. Never did. You fucked it up. That's the only thing that bothers me, bro. I really did like that. Fuck.
She was 17, baby.
Babe, it don't matter to me.
You're a predator.
Say what you want to say, but you don't matter.
Ew, that's sick. Ew!
Who you gonna show that to, bitch? You know?
Get out the car, bro.
Nah. Take me to get my show down.
Nah.
You want to see why I coming over there? Let's do play both sides. Oh, shit.
That's mine. Okay. Bitch, you're stealing my shit and rummaging through my shit like psycho, bitch. Are you okay? I don't care what you need, bitch. You're psycho. Like.
Are you taking me?
Story time of how I found out 5 minutes ago that I have been cheated on. So I met this boy in Thailand like 3 months ago, and from the first day that we met, we traveled together every single day for 3 weeks. So like his entire trip, I was with him. And then at the end of it, he was going back to Perth, and he was like, oh, do you want to move to Perth with me? And I was like, okay, that's kind of crazy because I live in London, but I do have family in Sydney. So I was like, okay, it's not that weird. Like I'm Australian, so that's fine. Like, yeah, sure, I'll come to Perth with you. So I moved to Perth with him, and I'm living at his house for like 2 weeks, and like obviously everything's really good, like it was vibes. But he works in a job where he flies away and works 3 weeks like in the mines, and then he gets 1 week off. So I thought rather than me sitting in his house for 3 weeks and like waiting for him to come back, I would go visit my mum in Sydney. So I fly out to Sydney, and we are FaceTiming every single night, and he's like, oh, I really want to come visit you on my week off, so like I'm thinking of flying over to Sydney. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then like it was my birthday as well in that time frame, and like he sent flowers to my house and everything, which was really cute. And then he like came up with the idea. He's like, okay, rather than me coming to Sydney, why don't I just fly us both to Bali and pay for like a Bali trip for both of us for your birthday, and so I can see you, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh my god, that is like amazing, like that's so nice of you, like yeah, let's do it. So we went to Bali last week, and everything was fine. Like, I had a really good time. And then obviously I said goodbye to him last Sunday, so like 9 days ago now. And then this time, like, he went straight to work after that. And then this time, like, he'd kind of been just, like, a little bit weird. Like, he's not been FaceTiming me every day. Like, he's been talking to me less. And I kind of messaged him today being like, oh, what's up? And he's like, oh, nothing. I've just had this thing on my mind that's really been stressing me out. Like, I'll FaceTime you tonight. And I was like, okay, cool. So he FaceTimes me, and I was like, oh, what's up? And he's like, oh, like, it's literally nothing, but, like, I'm just paranoid that I have an STI.
Like, ever since I've met him, he's just always been really paranoid about STIs. Like, but I've obviously been tested since sleeping with him and only him, because, like, we were exclusive. So I was like, oh, like, trying to, like, calm him down, like, calm down his hypochondriacness. I was like, oh, no, like, don't worry, like, I've not been sleeping with anyone else, you've not been sleeping with anyone else, so, like, you couldn't possibly have symptoms. No, sorry, you couldn't possibly have an STI because you would have shown symptoms already because we've been sleeping together for, like, 3 months. And he made, like, a face, and I was like, hold on, what the fuck's that face? And he was like, oh, nothing. And I was like, have you been sleeping with anyone else? And he was like, oh, no. And I was like, no, seriously, have you slept with anyone else? He was like, no. I asked him again, have you slept with anyone else? He said no. I asked him a 4th fucking time, and he was like, okay, yeah, I slept with someone else. And I was like, you're joking? And he's like, no, I'm not joking. And I'm like, no, fucking tell me you're joking. He wasn't joking. So I was like, you know that feeling when you find out information and you just shake, like that adrenaline? I was like, okay, when? He was like, before Bali. Because I was like, okay, maybe fair enough, like, you were out drinking in Bali, because I went to bed earlier than he did every single night because I crash early. So I was like, oh, fair enough if you were really drunk and, like, you slept with someone else. Like, I mean, still not okay, but he slept with someone else before Bali. He was at home for 2 days before the Bali trip. So he went from work, flew into his hometown in Perth, was at his house for 2 nights, literally 1.5 days, and slept with someone else, sober. Like, he wasn't out drinking. So I'm thinking it was either his ex or it was this girl that he was seeing before me, or even if it wasn't one of those two, it doesn't matter. He did this completely sober, knowing he was going to see me in Bali for a week for my birthday 2 days later. Are you kidding me? And then the worst part of all of this is after I hung up the phone after I found this out. I was fuming, like, I was literally livid. Hung up the phone. He's not sent a message. He's not called me back. He's just gone to bed. This man has fucking gone to bed. I'm like, are you fucking serious? It's been an hour now. It's 1:21 a.m. in the morning. I'm fucking livid. I can't sleep now. I'm like absolutely fuming. Also, one of his friends, the only other friend that I met in Perth that followed me, like his housemate, has unfollowed me, and it would have been in the last couple of days. So I'm like, okay, maybe he cheated on me, and, like, it's been premeditated, and he was going to end things anyway. Like, that's why he's being weird the past week. I was like, okay, that adds up. However, on this phone call tonight, 5 minutes prior to me, you know, discovering this cheating thing, he said that he was going to fly out to Sydney next week. I was like, yeah, I'm going to come out to Sydney and see you in a few days. I was like, what? Like, that he was going to come to Sydney knowing he's cheated on me. Like, what the is wrong with this man's head? And I literally had to drag this information out of him. And the funniest thing is, the last week I've been saying, like, half as a joke, but half because I kind of knew something was off. I was like, you know what you've done? You know what you've done? You know how you sometimes do that? You're like, you know what you've done? Just, like, trying to, like, get any sort of secret out that isn't even there. I've been doing that. And he's like, why do you keep saying that? And I was like, I don't know, you know. And, like, I could tell, like, I don't know. I'm a girl. We know. We have intuition. I could tell something was up. And I was right. And, But anyways, I started off this video crying, and I've ended it in rage again. I'm literally going in between rage and crying because I just don't know how to feel. I want to lay it all out on this man. I want to have a big screaming match and then never speak to him again because I need to let out all my frustrations. But it's fine. I've already unfollowed him, and if he never speaks to me again, then God forbid, because never ever trust a ginger, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's read some comments. I traveled with him for 3 weeks and he asked me to move in halfway around the world, and I said sure. This one thinks that's a red flag. A whole 3 months? Wow, just devastating. The flowers and Bali trip was the guilt eating him alive. It's never fair enough, my love. Know your worth and make sure he knows what he's lost. Always trust your instincts. I'm confused about when this became a relationship. How is this cheating? This is someone asking. 1, he was cheating since the beginning. 2, that wasn't a mistake. He knows he has STI. For you, you just dodged a bullet. Get checked and leave him. You deserve better. For me, I think the relationship moved so fast. You just met the guy and you were willing to leave your comfort zone to go be with someone you just met, someone you were getting to know. You literally told the guy that you could do anything for him. You gave up the desperation vibe to me. This is my personal opinion. It's okay for you to disagree with me in the comment section. I felt like she didn't give him breathing space. Everything moved so fast, and it could be the guy has been sleeping around if he was always talking about getting STI. It's sad. I'm glad she found out, and I hope she moved on. Let's hear more story time on how women found out that the men they were sleeping with were their enemies.
Let me tell you a story of sleeping with the enemy. My friend, she got married. She was married for 4 years. While she was married, everything was good. He was great. Said the first few months of marriage, everything was okay. She said, I started noticing things. And I'm like, what'd you notice? She's like, he stopped taking showers. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, he would stop taking showers for days on end. And she said he smelled so bad. Like his body odor would like reek. She would find him in the middle of the night praying. And she's like, what are you doing? Why are you like praying now? She's like, I would never see him pray during the day, but I would only see him praying in the night. She said, and then I started having nightmares. I'd always have nightmares. I'd always hear like weird things, but she always had this weird feeling when she was at home. She would always feel like this darkness and like anxiety and stress. But when she would go to her family, she would feel a little bit more at ease, at rest. She got to a point where she couldn't even pray at the house. So she said when she would go to her family, she would feel better. She would pray and like read Quran, and she would feel okay. He stopped touching her. Okay, read between the lines. The only time that he would want to touch her is when she was on her menstrual. And you know that's forbidden in Islam. She started noticing really weird things. She said she would find like cloths and they'd be like tied around the house. They're in the most random places. She said I would find them outside, like on the fence, everywhere around the house, inside the house, outside the house. She's like, I didn't understand what the heck was going on. And she's like, one day I go into the bathroom. I didn't know he was in there. And she sees him like eating chicken. And she's like, what are you doing? She found like the rest of the bones in the trash as well. She started finding sacks. It had like little things in it. I don't know what the heck was in it. She's like, it would be tied. And then I would find like a few random ones at home. It's like, I could not stand being around him. She's like, the nightmares started getting worse. The sound started getting worse. Him, his smell, everything. She's like, everything was so disgusting. And then she developed a stomach issue. She said he used to bring her food and she would eat. He would watch her while she ate, but he would like be eating with her, but he would watch her while she ate. And sometimes he would cook some food and he would tell her like, hey, come eat. And then he would watch her. Sometimes he would eat from it and sometimes he wouldn't. Okay. And he would have already her plate already ready and he would just give it to her. God knows what he put in there. She said she would go out with her sisters and go eat out, but she said I couldn't eat anything from outside. She said the only types of food that I could eat were at home. She said it was so embarrassing, and she still had the issue. Like she's slowly coming off of it. You know, sometimes when you're friends with somebody on social media and then the things that they comment will come up. Well, there was one about a jinn, okay, and in the comments he was writing things like praising this jinn and praying to this jinn. She started putting one and one together and she's like, oh my God. And everything just made sense to her. She ended up getting divorced from him. And then she got in a fight with her mother-in-law because she said to her mother-in-law, you knew that your son does this. You let him go get married to me. And you don't care about like Banat al-Nas. She went to Sheikh and like he cleansed her out and whatever. Now she's able to eat better. Alhamdulillah. She can eat. She still has a little bit of stomach issues, but it's not as bad as before. Oh my God, talk about sleeping with the enemy. Can I even give you guys a guideline of how to look out for these things or how to protect yourself from these things? Because I don't know. The only thing I could tell you is that these things happen and these are the stories. Insanity.
I'm about to go to bed, but I just thought I would share this. You want to know how you know that you're sleeping with the enemy as a woman? Because your gut would always tell you. I once dated a man for 3 years. We lived together. And at no point after the 1 year mark that I kept my toothbrush in the bathroom that we shared. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I slept with one eye open. But he never said anything like, oh, I'm going to, break your toothbrush. But I went to sleep one day. I had a dream that he took my toothbrush and rubbed it across the rim of the toilet. And I never kept my toothbrush in the bathroom ever again. I never kept shampoos in the bathroom because I always just imagined he would like put nail in it. I was always afraid he was doing something vindictive to me. I didn't have concrete evidence, but I was always just like thinking of it 24/7. Women are not crazy. Well, all things considered. Our gut instinct is our biggest compass. It's our God-given compass. And he would never admit he did anything wrong to me, or maybe he did, but maybe he didn't. But I would always just hide things that are personal to me, like my passport. I kept it in a safe. I kept toothbrush under the bed so he won't touch it. Shampoo under the bed. I was just always walking on eggshells, and I was so paranoid. But he never did anything bad, so to speak, But
if you're feeling like that in a relationship, get out. You're most likely with a covert narcissist. Very different from an overt narcissist, a covert narcissist. And they might not do anything physically to hurt you, but you start to feel crazy.
So I'm going to name this video Sleeping with the Enemy. I've been meaning to do it for quite a while, but before I get into this story time, let me first say that I was the type of mother that didn't believe in bashing the other parent. One, because I felt it wasn't the right thing to do. Children shouldn't be held hostage to a failed relationship. And also, if bashing the other parent possibly could hurt a seed that I birthed, then I would not do it. If it hurt my child, I was not going to do it. But I will say that there was a period of time that I entitled my marriage Sleeping with the Enemy. And I'm going to explain exactly what I meant about it. I'm going to also say that I wish my ex well. We are not in any space. My youngest baby is 24 years old. We don't communicate at all, but there's no beef that I know of, right? So we've cleared the table with those two items. I also want to say that now that I've matured, I would tell you that there was things that I could have done better inside of the marriage as well. You know, something about time and wisdom sitting upon you. It just happens. If you're interested in growing and being a better person, we all could do better in our places and spaces in our different relationships. So we've got that out of the way. So when I say sleeping with the enemy, I mean just that. You are married to or in a relationship with somebody who literally hates you, and you continue to stay in that marriage for one reason or another. And it is definitely what I call sleeping with the enemy. But I'm going to give you some examples. Sleeping with the enemy. There would be times that I would ask my ex simple questions like, what did you get from the store? That's just an example. And his response would always be a yell from 0 to 100. Why are you asking me? It was really an over response. And it left me feeling like, am I crazy? Did I ask the wrong question? Should I have not asked the question? No, girlfriend, you're just sleeping with the enemy. That same man would go to a church service where he was a deacon at and greet people like he was the Walmart greeter. Ask them how they were doing, get their car door, be nice and kind, and not more than 20 minutes before he had yelled at you at the top of your voice. Yeah, you're sleeping with the enemy. We both were in the military together, and I learned quite early how to achieve rank really quickly inside of the military. But so that we could grow together, I would ask him, you know, can I help you with your military records? Can I help you with your promotion packet so that we can get promoted together? It benefit the family. He stubbornly stayed at the same rank for 8 years and refused any help. My opinion, sleeping with the enemy. There was a time I had to speak at church. I wasn't preaching, but I think I had to speak to a group of ladies. And afterwards, the ladies came up to me and said, you did such a wonderful job. We enjoyed your message today. I kid you not. This man that I was married to stood beside me and said, if you think she is something when she gives a speech, wait until you hear me. I wanted to melt away, but I still smiled and I was gracious. But yeah, I was definitely sleeping with the enemy. Sleeping with someone that was secretly in competition with me. Give you another example of what I mean by sleeping with the enemy. There was a time that the military sent me away to school, and it was about 3 hours away. I would try to drive home every weekend, but my mom was there to help with the girls. I came home. He spent a lot of time in the office downstairs, but we did talk, right? I left, and my mom called me on the phone, and she said to me, notice that I had already entitled the relationship Sleeping with the Enemy, but she said to me, blank blank is an entirely different person when you're around. He is distant and he doesn't have much to say. And she left it there. And all I could say is, Mom, I know. But in the back of my mind, I was thinking, I'm sleeping with the enemy. And that's all to it. Sleeping with someone who hates me and is in secret competition with me at the same time. While away at that same school, I had an apartment and I paid rent up there, and we also had a mortgage. In order for him to get caught up on some poor financial decisions, I remember telling him, only thing I want you to do is take care of your poor financial decisions and buy clothes for the girls. I will take care of the mortgage and I will take care of my rent. And when I come back in 6 months, we'll be even, but use your money to do that. It came time to get school clothes for the girls, and he did not have the money. And once again, he flew into a rage concerning not having the money. So maybe I was being gaslighted at the same time. I don't know. I just said it was sleeping with the enemy. I could go on and on, but I will make this my last example. When I got commissioned as an officer in the United States Army, could barely stomach my dinner that we had. He didn't talk to anyone and he really pouted the entire time. And I was always left covering for his poor behavior. Yeah, I was sleeping with the enemy. I just wanted to tell you what I titled A Period of Time in My Marriage and why I entitled it that way.
Please let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. Leave a comment if you have any. Share this video with your friends and loved ones. Like this video if you like it. Give me a like. And also subscribe if you're here to do so. And I will see you all in the next one. Thanks a lot for your support.